What's going on, YouTube world? I didn't forget. I did not forget that we had, as the title says, a DC Legends of Tomorrow video. I did not forget. I even watched it. But that's what you're here for, because it says review, right? So, what we have here, we got DC's Legends of Tomorrow. So, YouTube Tribe and YouTube World, settle in, because we about to break this video down. I'm about to give you a synopsis. Anywho, the name of the game, the name of the episode is episode 1, the season premiere episode, Ground Control to Sara Lance. And you know how I like to do. I like to give you a synopsis to the episode. So, as I said, let's get into it. The Legends discovered that Sara is missing. Ava sends Rory and Bedrad to follow a lead on who can possibly help them find Sara. While Constantine tries to work his magic, Sara does all she can to try to escape from her captors. So, this episode has some very nice revelations to it. You know, we got to find. It did some backstories on people while giving us some new information. So pretty much the episode starts off where I would say last season left off, which was the episode the Swan Thong. That episode ended with, you know, they was in 1977, I want to say. They was partying in 1977. And I might be wrong about the year, but I know they was partying with the shapeshifter who shapeshifted into Nate's ex-girlfriend. And Maya. She shapeshifted into Maya. That's her name. They was partying with her. That was, you know, the girl who played Maya. That was her final episode because she left the series afterwards. So this episode picks up right from there. It's like the next day, I would say. Yeah, it's the next day, and Rory, of all people, he comes into the Wave Rider. And he sees it just a mess. It's, you know, it's drunk people and where it was drunk. It's drunk people, partied everywhere, punk rockers. So it's obviously they still back in 1977, and yeah, they pretty much still there, passed out, drunk. Everybody just scattered everywhere. Rory tries to figure, you know, Rory, he sees, he don't see no Sara, nobody. Everybody just passed out drunk, you know. So he goes and he finally finds, I'll try to remember, sorry, Ava. He finally finds Ava passed out in the bathroom. She passed out face first in the toilet. She looked like she puked herself to sleep. And Rory comes and finds her, and he like, you look like a hot mess. And you know, she was like, well, you look better, and what happened to you? Why don't you look like us? You know, hangover and stuff. And he reveals that he wasn't on the ship, and I think in the last episode he wasn't. I think he left to go do. I think he was there. But then he left to go do something with his daughter. I think he had to go take his daughter somewhere. So he didn't like get full on blasted. He even made fun of them for being lightweights. That's when the mystery about Sara starts to come into play. Because everybody, you know, she started wondering where Sara is. And he said he haven't seen her. She haven't seen her since the partying. But as we all know, spoilers, as you haven't seen Swan Thong, the episode ended. That episode ended with Sarah, as they was walking off, Sarah would get hit with this beam of light and beamed up into space. So they still, at this point, they still haven't figured that part out yet. So they go, Ava and Roy go on a like a treasure hunt, as you will, to go gather up the rest of the legends. Then Constantine and Zari, they in the hotel room. They just had a night of debauchery, sexual exploits. I'm trying to remember. Bayrad was out talking to. They was in London, so Bayrad's talking to one of those security guys that just stand there. He talking to them, and they find Nate. Yeah, it was Roy, Sarah, Nate, Bayrad, Constantine, and Zari. They tried to figure out what happened to Sarah, and they end up that's how they find Nate. I don't remember now. They find Nate talking to David Bowie, and that's when they find out what happened to Sarah. They go find Nate talking to David Bowie. David Bowie starts singing. They asked Nate had they seen Sarah, he seen Sarah, and he said he haven't seen Sarah since the Ava, since the partying. And they overhear actually David Bowie singing a song about a missing girl flying up into the sky, a blind girl, and they was talking about I think they thought they were talking about Zari for a minute or somebody else, but then they revealed when he started saying like the blonde haired girl was hit with a blue beaming light and saw up into space. They realized it was he was talking about David Bowie was talking about Sarah. So they go and ask him like, is Sarah the person you're talking about? He said, yeah, man. He said, do you know what happened to her? Have you seen her? He's like, yeah, I know what happened to her. Got it right here, all on camera. He said, he said that basically like what we saw when they walked away, she was hit with a blue light and signed into a sky, and they realized she was abducted by aliens. So Ava, she takes the little mind eraser gun thing, erase his mind and take the camera. So they take the camera back to the rail wire, hook it up, and to see what happened. They see the footage of the party. The shapeshifter who shapeshifted to Maya, still in singing like basically like off the last episode, but this time we see it from the point of view of David Bowie, who ends up running to Sarah because Sarah's a fan of David Bowie, and Sarah in her drunken party state reveals to David Bowie in the recording that she was planning on proposing to Ava, and she had the ring and everything. And that then the film, Ava and everybody all delighted. Everybody's delighted to hear that Ava and them was going to get married. So then it cuts to them walking away, and we still see we see the same footage like we already saw. The blue light beaming, hitting Sarah, taking her into space, which devastates everybody because they didn't even realize that when they was walking away from the party, Sarah was kidnapped right then and there. I think they was under their oppression. It happened like later on, probably when they passed out and stuff. They was devastated to learn that it happened right there. Like not when they was passed out, not during the party, right when they was walking away. She got hit with a beam that she couldn't even communicate. I think when the beam hit her, it's like it muted her for them. It was like mute. They couldn't hear her screaming for help and telling them to look behind them. But in the episode, you actually heard her say it. Like when they showed Sarah in the beam, you heard her say it, but they didn't hear her. So they was devastated. Ava was devastated because Sarah was basically taken from underneath her, and she needed a minute while everybody tried to come up with a plan. So Ava basically, after a while to take a minute, they try to come up with she came up with these she came back with these little pamphlets, like booklets things for everybody to do something. But in reality, it was a funny little diversion. She just basically didn't trust everybody to help find Sarah, so she basically created these little binder pamphlets to help them with the mission to be focused and organized. And everybody did what exactly what she thought they was gonna do. She had it written down on this checklist. You know, like Bayrad said, he was gonna go smoke some pot to try to get some clear head to help him figure out how to save Sarah. And she sold on her little checklist. Bayrad gonna smoke pot to go to clear head to get an idea. Roy said he was about to use the pamphlet. He about to go get drunk. She said, she checked it off. Roy goes to go drink for an idea. You know, she knew exactly what everybody was going to do. I think Nate was the only one who stayed behind her. And she told Nate, she ended up telling Nate too, that's the reason why she made the little binder pamphlets. Because she knew everybody was just going to do their own thing. Astra, that was the other person that was with them. I just remember they also had to go collect Astra. She was still there. They went and got Astra too on the way to collect everybody before they got to Nate. Nate was the last one. I think it went after they got Constantine and Zari. They went and got Astra, followed by Bayrad, then followed by Nate. That's how it went. But yeah, so Nate was asking her like, why did she make those pamphlets and she wasn't gonna really use them? And she was like, it's because it just motivated everybody to go create their own ideas. And I think Bayrad was the only one who came back with a useful idea. That's when we get introduced. He's our introduction to it, the new cast member for this season, which I think her name was Spooner. I think I forgot what her actual, what the rest of her name was. Hold on, just give me 1 second, because I want to get this. Esperanza. Yeah, Esperanza Spooner Cruz. He reads an article. He brings an article to them. You know, they out there like, oh God, you know, he's stinking up the place because he smoked pot. But yeah, he brings a news article about Spooner, and you know that's what I'm gonna call it, because I'm not about to call it Esperanza, but Spooner, because that's like a little nickname. They figure out she was abducted by aliens, and she claims that she was abducted by aliens, and that she got like this device in her head that allows her to communicate with the aliens. So they end up going to Ava sends Bayrad and Roy to go recruit her. We finally catch up with Sarah. We do catch up with Sarah. Sarah's on the ship, and she's stuck in this pod. And the pod, I guess, is like it freezes you. It freezes you in there. So it started to activate. It's freezing. You know, she's trying to get out. She's panicking because she's starting to get cryo frozen, and she accidentally hit this panel that opens the door, which is a mystery that I will get to in a minute. It opens the door for some reason that it shouldn't have. I think, according to the way how the episode put it, that shouldn't have never happened. You know, her hitting the panel on the inside should have never opened the door. So we see Sarah. She escaped the pod, and she's looking around trying to figure out where she at, and she ended up going to a window in the ship to see that she's in the spaceship floating above Earth, and then the spaceship shoot off into this wormhole. She ends up exploring the ship, and then she finds another pod where she sees a familiar human hand, But it was just like a human. It wasn't like a familiar person. It was just a human hand. She recognized that as a human hand. She opens the pod, and out comes Spartacus. He even introduced himself as the undefeatable Spartacus. And she said, "Yeah, we're going to put a little ixnay on the undefeated part. Yeah, you look like you look pretty defeated." So her and Spartacus explore the ship. They see two aliens. There's a obvious female looking alien, and then there's a male looking alien, but he look all scrawny and stuff. And I say that because I'm going to set up of who that alien is. Excuse me. So they end up going to Constantine's house. Back on Earth, they at Constantine's house. Constantine reveals that when him and Sarah did this one spell back in the previous season, it linked them together psychically. So now all he had to do is use a psychic link spell to psychically, get a psychic, whereabouts of Sarah. But when he tried to do it, nothing happens, and Zari and Astra is trying to figure out what went wrong, and he said the spell actually worked, but what went wrong is that Sarah is too far for the spell to connect. It's like it's like trying to use your Wi-Fi, but you at Walmart trying to use your own Wi-Fi. You can't do it. So he's basically like telling them that she's too far. Wherever the aliens took her, they too far for the spell to connect to her. So he pretty much gives up because he tells them that this is out of his area of expertise, because he said he's basically everything occult, like demons, angels, magic spells, all that type of stuff. He said, but what you need is an astronomer. Not what I forgot what the word he used for himself, but he said you don't need that. He said you don't need what my expertise. You need an astronomer. And he walks away and gives up. But Zari and them come up with the idea, because Zari realized that no matter aliens or not, that Astra has a connection in the underworld, and she ends up realizing that she remembers that a guy who used alien magic, whatever that is. I guess apparently there's magic even for aliens, and that the dude used it to escape hell, and Constantine reveals that he didn't escape hell. He summoned him and then banished him to be stuck on Earth. But he do know what the book he talking about. The book is not in the shelf. They end up going to Gary's room in Constantine's house, only to build some type of weird cocoon above Gary's bed. And then back on the ship, the alien sends the scrawny little alien to go check on the stowaways, the people they got captured. And I think Spartacus actually didn't release an alien. They end up fighting him and putting him back in there. She even makes a jab about being an Avenger. She said being an Avenger is stupid. I like to you want to pre-avenge or prevent stuff. She said pre-avenger is more better instead of avenger. So that, I think that was a little jab at Marvel. Nice little jab. But yeah, they end up Spartacus end up getting eaten by the female alien, while the little scrawny male alien reveals himself to be a person of connection to Sarah and them. And Sarah, at the same time in this revelation, Constantine and then revealed to Ava who this person was that they know is an alien, was really an alien the whole time, and that by taking these, because if I say taking these glasses and putting them on, transform them into this person. I'll let you go watch the episode to figure out who that person is, but they realized that person was an alien the whole time, and Sarah's like, "Oh my God, but she didn't say you. She said the name, and and the person is like, yeah, okay, I've been an alien this whole time, but because I had these adventures with you, got to know Ava, got to know you and the legends, and have all these adventures, I fell in love with you and humans. So now I don't eat humans anymore. He reveals that his kind would eat humans, but he said, but this person said that they don't eat humans anymore, or he don't eat humans anymore, or so they go try to outdo the female alien to try to get the ship back on track. Sarah and them try to use the spell from the book to locate Sarah, and they end up using the astral projection spell that basically projects them to where Sarah might be. And Ava basically projects herself because Sarah ends up fighting the female alien to distract her while they mutual friend, who turns out to be the alien on the ship, tries to steer the ship back towards Earth using the remains of their fossil or their fuel. The alien and Sarah has a battle, but this alien ends up getting the upper hand, locking Sarah back into the cryopods, which the cryopods end up freezing her, and that's when Ava astral projects to Sarah because Constantine was too weak to step into the astral projection circle. By the way, I skipped the part. The reason how they got to all this is because Roy and Baderad went and found Spooner. And Spooner, though hostile she is, they had to trank her. She ended up tranking them, and then Sarah and them tries to talk her down, but she believes that Sarah and Roy and them are aliens. She don't believe them about being time travelers, to where Roy shoots her with a dart, tranquilizing her, and she wakes up on the ship, and she finally comes to her sister that they really are time travelers and stuff, and they agree that if she helps them, they'll use Gideon to remove the device in her head. So they use her as a conduit, along with drinking. They made like this shake that had pieces of the little cocoon in it, because they know who the alien is that's on the ship. They use that so she could tune in to them. But Constantine was too weak. That's when Ava had to step into the circle, and she comes into Sarah, trying to keep Sarah awake, and she tells Sarah that she agrees to marry her. Then they go like this. But Sarah had to cut the link of Constantine was dying, and so Sarah realizes that now Ava has accepted her proposal. She used the ring to cut like an X onto the pot and bust it open since it was frozen. And they end up sending the alien, and they end up opening up a little wormhole in time to get back to Earth. And they end up sending the aliens along with the pods into the wormhole, allowing the aliens and the female alien along with who turns out to be this person's fiance into the time zone, not in different points of time. And Ava seeing this, she realized it was Sarah's doing, and it's a cliffhanger. I only said there was a cliffhanger. I won't tell you what that cliffhanger is, but it's a nice setup for the next episode. If I had to give this episode anything, I would give it a 9 big ups for a season premiere, because it was a decent episode. It gave you a recap. It let you know where it was going. It was even some stuff with the DEO. By far, I actually enjoyed it. It wasn't a stellar 10, but it was a decent 9. That's all I got. If you want to check out more of my reviews, you can hit this button right here in the upper right corner from all of my reviews. Hit this button right here in the lower right corner. If you want to support the channel, hit this button to subscribe. Smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. You want to support the channel. The goal is 1,200. We're moving a little bit slowly towards it, but still 1,200. Or hit any one of these amazing videos for more amazing content. Chief is out. That's all I got for y'all today. But stay tuned, because I just do got more. Peace out.